And hey everyone, welcome back to Broken Britain. Keir Starmer just got smacked back down on the global stage again, and it's honestly getting embarrassing. Every time he tries to act tough or show some power out there, someone way bigger and stronger puts him right back in his place. It's like he never learns. This time, it's the United States giving him that reality check. And get this, we've got some amazing news coming out of the US right now. A real victory for freedom of speech. Meanwhile, Keir is over there pretending to be some global leader, but the truth, he keeps getting treated like the junior in the room. Now here's where it gets wild. Keir is so obsessed with following his model country, China, that people are literally joking that he's just going back home. But the twist, China's probably looking at him thinking, wow, you're going even harder than us. That's not an exaggeration. Over 12,000 people in the UK were reportedly arrested for things they posted online. That's more than Russia and China combined. Can you believe that? The UK, supposedly the land of free expression, turning into a place where posting the wrong thing could get you locked up. It's no wonder the world's laughing. Keir Starmer is out here trying to copy global superpowers, but all he's doing is embarrassing himself and tightening the grip on his own people. So now, Keir Starmer is out there playing diplomat again, trying to cozy up to China, the very country he's been modelling the UK after. Can you believe that? He's talking about striking some brilliant new deal with China to stop the boats. But here's the kicker. It's not even about people, it's about boat parts. What kind of nonsense is that? The Labour government keeps doing everything except the one thing that would actually work. Leaving the ECHR and sending those boats straight back to France. It's not complicated. The Royal Navy could handle it easily, but no, instead, Keir wants to sit around having tea and trade talks about screws, engines and boat frames. It's ridiculous. They don't want to stop illegal immigration. That's the truth. All this talk, all these deals, it's just political theatre to make it look like they're doing something. Don't fall for it. They're playing everyone while pretending to solve the crisis. But let's get to the real bombshell that just dropped in the last few hours. And this one's massive. It's a major win for freedom of speech. Before we dive into it, make sure you smash that like button and hit subscribe for more, because what's coming next is going to blow your mind. So here's where things get really explosive. The United States has stepped in, and they're planning a brand new law that would block the UK's online safety rules from touching American companies. That's right, the US is basically saying, back off Keir Starmer, because he went way too far trying to punish American firms through Ofcom. What a mess he's created. Now the word is, the Trump administration and the US Congress are both moving to shut this nonsense down. They're not having it. If Keir Starmer keeps trying to block or limit access to American websites, the UK could be slapped with massive tariffs. That's serious money on the line, all because of one man's obsession with control. Even US officials are calling him out. One American user online said it perfectly. The US is defending freedom of speech for the British people. That says it all. Sarah Rogers, the Under-Secretary of State for Public Diplomacy, told The Sun that the UK's 2023 Online Safety Act clashes head-on with the US Constitution's First Amendment. And she's right. She's now pushing something called the Granite Act, created by lawyer Preston Bye, who represents Chain, the same company fined by Ofcom last year. This new act would make sure US courts refuse to enforce any foreign censorship orders, and it would even let Americans sue regulators who try. Freedom of speech just got a powerful new defender, and it's not coming from London. And it doesn't stop there. Things are heating up even more. Word is spreading fast that other countries are now watching how the US handles this showdown with the UK. Some European leaders are reportedly whispering behind closed doors, saying Keir Starmer's crackdown could spark a full-on international backlash. It's like a domino effect waiting to happen. Tech giants in America are already gearing up for battle. Big names from Silicon Valley have been holding emergency talks, planning to push back hard against any attempt by Ofcom to stick its nose into their business. One insider even said, "If the UK keeps this up, we'll pull our platforms from their market entirely." That's a major threat, and it shows just how fed up they are with all this control madness. Meanwhile, British citizens are starting to wake up too. People are realising their online freedom is slipping away, and they're furious. Social media is blowing up with posts calling out the hypocrisy. A government that talks about protecting democracy while silencing voices left and right. Now the question is, will Keir Starmer back down, or will he double down and drag the UK into a trade war with its biggest ally? Either way, this political drama's about to get wild, and the whole world's watching what happens next. Now this move is gaining serious traction. Support on Capitol Hill is building fast. Lawmakers are rallying behind the plan, and it's starting to echo older American laws like the 2010 Speech Act, especially with all these rising transatlantic tensions over online safety versus free speech. It's becoming a real showdown. Freedom of expression on one side, government control on the other. Free speech advocates are cheering this on loud and proud. They're calling it a turning point. Meanwhile, critics, like John Cleese, are cracking jokes about how the First Amendment is too American for the Brits to understand. It's chaos out there, but you can feel the excitement building. The US Congress is getting ready to officially block Ofcom from regulating American companies, and it's sending shockwaves across both sides of the Atlantic. Sarah Rogers came out again to make the announcement, standing firm. And honestly, she's got a point. The crazy part is, the Labour government actually claims they drafted all this nonsense in the spirit of protecting children. But anyone paying attention can see what's really going on. They're using it to silence anyone who speaks out against their version of reality. One wild example, Ofcom reportedly tried to get videos removed from X, including clips from an account called Radio Genoa. The videos just showed scenes of modern London. But apparently, even that was too offensive for them. Can you imagine? Instead of protecting free speech, they're out here trying to erase what people see every day in their own city. So get this, they actually tried to label those clips as hate speech. Can you believe that? It was just real footage from London, plain and simple. Nothing staged, nothing fake, just how the city actually looks today. But Ofcom wanted it gone, like the truth was somehow offensive. That's how far they're willing to go to control the narrative. But guess what? Keir Starmer just got put back in his place. And honestly, it's satisfying to watch. The Americans are standing firm on that First Amendment, and thank goodness for that. Freedom of speech matters, and seeing the US defend it so fiercely while the UK tries to smother it is wild to witness. And the irony, it's off the charts. You've got these hardcore left-wing voices, people I used to know from school actually, sliding into my messages trying to tell me that Trump and the current Republican-led US government are running some kind of fascist regime. Like, seriously, the same government that's out here defending free speech is the one they're comparing to Hitler. That's just unreal. Let's be real. Trump was democratically elected, and whether people like him or not, he's been acting on what his voters wanted. You don't have to agree with every policy to see the truth. Calling a democracy fascist just because you dislike the guy in charge makes no sense. The hypocrisy is wild, and it shows exactly how twisted the political conversations become. And it keeps getting crazier, because while people are busy throwing wild accusations, the facts keep speaking for themselves. The United States is defending free speech like never before, while Keir Starmer's government keeps tightening its grip, desperate to control what people say and see. It's like the UK is turning into this sanitised version of reality, where truth gets labelled as hate and honesty gets deleted. What happened to open debate and real discussion? You've got British citizens getting fed up, starting to speak out louder online, saying things like, "We're tired of being treated like criminals for sharing opinions." That says it all. People want transparency, not censorship. And the craziest part, instead of listening, the Labour government just keeps doubling down, pretending that anyone who disagrees is spreading misinformation. It's getting ridiculous. Meanwhile, in the US, the pushback is growing stronger every day. Lawmakers are sending a clear message. You can't bully American companies into enforcing UK censorship laws. That's not how freedom works. The Granite Act is quickly turning into a global symbol, a way to remind the world that free speech isn't up for negotiation. So now the big question is, how long before Starmer realises he's losing this battle? Because the world's watching and people everywhere are waking up. You can't silence everyone forever, and sooner or later that truth's going to break through, loud, raw and impossible to ignore. Let's get real. A fascist regime doesn't open free speech, it crushes it. That's exactly what history shows us. When dictators rise, the first thing they do is control the media, just like Hitler did when he came to power. He took over every news outlet to silence anyone who disagreed. That's what real suppression looks like. Now look at the United States. The media there is anything but pro-Trump. Every day, major outlets are throwing shade at him, challenging his every move. So how can anyone claim he controls the media? It makes no sense. In fact, Trump's doing the opposite. He's pushing for more open discussion and protecting platforms that allow people to actually speak their minds. That's not dictatorship, that's freedom in action. And here's the irony that's just too wild to ignore. The same people calling Trump a fascist are turning a blind eye to Keir Starmer, who's busy introducing digital IDs, limiting speech online, and even floating the idea of suspending local elections. That's the real authoritarian behaviour right there. He's doing the very things they claim to be against. But finally, there's some good news. Ofcom's about to get a serious reality check. The US is standing firm, refusing to let this censorship spill over their borders, and it's a huge win for free speech everywhere. For once, it feels like the tide's turning, and people are finally pushing back against the silencing machine. And once again, it's total humiliation for Keir Starmer on the world stage. Every time he tries to puff his chest out and act like he can boss around global powers, he gets slammed right back down. He really thinks he can lecture or control massive US companies, but the moment he steps out of line, he gets told, "Sit down, stay quiet, and know your place." It's brutal, but that's the reality. The Trump administration isn't playing around either. They're making it crystal clear that the UK doesn't get to dictate how American firms operate. And honestly, it's about time someone reminded Starmer where he actually stands. Every attempt he makes to show strength just ends up backfiring and exposing how little influence he really has internationally. But here's where it gets even more suspicious. Starmer's off in China again, and nobody really knows why. The timing couldn't be weirder. What kind of meetings is he having over there? What kind of deals are being whispered behind closed doors? People are starting to ask serious questions about what's really going on in his relationship with China, and for good reason. It's starting to look like the UK's long-standing ties with the US are getting strained while Starmer cozies up elsewhere. Something's shifting in the background, and if he's not careful, he could end up isolating Britain just when we need our strongest allies the most. It's wild when you think about it. We're supposed to be working with our allies, yet Keir Starmer's out here cozying up to countries that British intelligence, like MI5, have openly labelled as threats. China's not exactly a friendly partner, and now the EU's cutting massive trade and mobility deals with India that could see millions of new arrivals pouring into Europe. And guess who's tagging along with them? Yep, Starmer's government. It's like he's teaming up with everyone except the people who've always had our back. Meanwhile, the United States, under an administration that's focused on making America safer and stronger, is standing firm, protecting its own citizens, defending free speech, and keeping order. That's what leadership looks like. The next UK government seriously needs to rethink these strange alliances Starmer keeps chasing and rebuild the solid bond we once had with the US. Because without that, Britain's just drifting. But don't worry, I'll keep you updated as this story keeps developing. There's still plenty more to come. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share button to help more people see what's really going on. And of course, drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know what you think about Starmer's latest moves. See you on the next one.